Have you ever felt stuck or lost in life, or just didn't know which direction to choose? Or are you someone who wants to live a fulfilling life that's meaningful to you? If so, today I share with you 5 steps to find your purpose in life. Hello my dears, welcome to Find Your Inner Panda. My name is Tan and this channel is all about spirituality and self-growth. There are a lot of different approaches trying to answer the question of finding your life purpose. But I think it's highly dependent on your personal traits and your values, if the approach appeals to you or not. So today I give you 5 steps or categories to think about to find your personal answer. And make sure to grab pen and paper so you can take some notes, or feel free to save the video for later so you can come back to it anytime you need to remember the steps. So we start with the personal points. Number 1 to ask yourself is, what are your strengths? And by your strength, I'm not just talking about your natural talents. Just looking at something that comes to you naturally can be dangerous, because we human beings sometimes tend to think we don't need to develop anything further if it's just our talent. But this is not really true, right? But for sure, your talents belong to your strength because they come to you naturally. They are easy for you to enhance. Besides your talents, what are your learned skills? What are you good at because you put in time and practice, so you really put effort into it? Your learned skills are equally valuable to your natural talents, right? If not even more valuable. You mastered them by repetition. You were consistent and persistent in learning the skill. And also look at your mental and your physiological strength. I also said it in another video, but doing a personality test can give you some insights about the way you're ticking and what kind of mental qualities you have if you're not sure about them. And don't deny your body, because whatever you do, your body has to do it with you. So really gather all your strength to see how they can help you. Step number 2 is about what keeps you curious. Now we look at your interests, your likes, your passions. What are the things that make you come alive? What makes you be eager to learn more? What do you enjoy by just simply doing it and not focusing on the result? And I'm a bit careful here about the passions, because often our passions go along with our strength, but they don't always do. So you also need to ask yourself, what negatives can you accept that come along with your likes and your passions? Because when the negatives overrun the first feeling of excitement, you're not going to enjoy your passion, and you're probably not keeping to enjoy pursuing it. And there are always positive and negatives to anything. It's just a balance. In the end, it's a very personal choice. It's just about what matters to you more. For example, if you pursue a career in a medical field, it offers some kind of financial security, right? But what about the 24-hour shifts? And what about the vacations? You have to leave your family due to work. And on the other hand, if you go for being an artist, you may live your creativity. But can you handle the financial insecurity that may occur? So you see, it's nothing that you can answer in general. It's more about your personal priorities. Step number 3 goes along with that, looking at your ifs. Now we try to extract your fears and doubts by having some provoking questions to your mind. So, if there was no time, money, or responsibility issue, what would you do? What would you choose to do? Because often people already stop themselves from even trying what they are really interested in because they think they cannot afford to try it, or they think they have to care for their family members, so there's no time. So challenge your mind here if these thoughts are actually proven to be true, or are they just based on some learned and limited beliefs that you have and that you adopted over time? Or can you maybe tap into your interests and into your passions step by step and just be open for opportunities that may disprove your beliefs, so that A, you can see if you enjoy doing what you think you might enjoy, and B, if it maybe works. One of our biggest fears is to fail, because a lot of thoughts holding us back from taking a risk or trying what we actually want to do are based on fears of failure. But sometimes there are also the opposite thoughts that hold us back, the opposite fears. What if you could truly succeed? What if you can make it? Because someone once said, we are not afraid of our darkness, we are afraid of our light. So ask yourself, what if it works out for you? What are you afraid of losing? Maybe the home you're living in, because you have to move somewhere else. Maybe the people that are close to you and that you just simply don't want to leave. And I'm not saying this is really going to happen, because actually you cannot know what's going to happen when things work out for you. It's really about challenging your beliefs and your values here. Would you rather choose to stay in the place that you know and where you feel secure, or do you have the urge to change, or for something to change in your life? There's no right or wrong answer. It's a really personal choice, and it's not even a choice for forever and ever. Over time you may choose differently. Anyway, try to really choose for yourself, and not because you think you have to choose something just to make other people happy. Alright, we get to the second part of the video, looking at the big picture. So, number 4 to ask yourself is, what gift do you have to offer to the world? How can you serve humanity or the planet? Because there are many studies showing that people feel happier when they can act out of compassion and when they serve others. So, what if you tell yourself it's not only about your personal achievements, but it's also about to give what you have to offer to the world? What kind of impact could you have? What kind of role model could you be? Maybe it's easier for you to allow yourself to go for it if you remind yourself it's not just about you, it's really about what you have to offer to the whole world. And if you're still asking yourself, well, what do you have to offer to the world? What's your soul calling? Number 5 is something I learned from my mentors. The trauma you went through in your life is your soul calling. Your mess is your message. So, what do I mean by that? You probably went through some sufferings throughout your life. Absent parents, other kind of losses, heartbreak, and you survived. You came out alive. And not only this, but you probably learned something when you went through your sufferings. You learned something when you overcame your situations. Maybe you can find a way to share your learnings, to share your experiences that may help other people. Maybe you want to help children. Maybe you want to write a book. It's totally up to you. Anyway, striving for a purpose in life is never too late. And there is no right or wrong choice. There are consequences to each decision, but that's part of life. Explore what gives you joy, what gives you happiness, what makes you feel alive, what makes you feel fulfilled. You have this one lifetime, and actually you don't even really know how long it is. So really allow yourself to feel alive and not just survive. If you found something helpful today, please like and subscribe for more, and feel free to share which of the steps helped you most. Like Paulo Coelho said, if it's still in your mind, it's worth taking the risk. Till next time, bye!